folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2021 Heartland Mallard M260. This is a huge rear bath model, excellent layout for a couple, TV directly across from the sofa, big super slide as I mentioned, massive bathroom, and a king bed up front. One of the things I actually want to start on is the ceiling. If we take a look, a couple quick things. You will see, you can kind of see a little bit right here how it is a barreled ceiling, which is great. Fully walkable roof there too. But the thing I really like about it is the fact they have 2 rows of lights. That's a big miss with a lot of manufacturers in my book, is just how dark they are. But I think they nailed it here. Excellent lighting in this RV, and I'll kind of show you that as we go throughout. You'll also see there are 2 rows of AC ducts. So that way you get nice even cooling. It does a better job cooling throughout the RV. So something that's normally not talked about as a ceiling, again, I think it definitely deserves some credit here in the Mallard. And then we get into the kitchen and the beautiful woodwork they switched to kind of in the 2020 model year. It looks like they're continuing with it currently, and again, I love it. I think it's a great choice. You have the oil rub bronze pulls, which kind of, helps to match with a little bit of the accents there. Again, I think it's a great color combo. You see the storage up top that does go in the back. You can see some more right back there. Again, I'll open that guy up just because this is big storage. Just kind of want to, accentuate that, just kind of show you how much you're getting there. Underneath, again, I talked about great lighting. You have not 1, but 2 LED lights there, helping to keep the kitchen nice and bright. 2 electrical outlets, making sure you have plenty of space to plug everything in. They give you sink top covers. These are cutting board quality. I just always recommend flipping them over and using the bottom. That way all your knife marks are here, so that way when you have guests come over, whatever, it still looks nice and pretty. But this gives you great prep space, plus you have all this and a recessed cooktop, so a ton of usable kitchen. The faucet you will see is a high-rise pull-out faucet, so that's a nice feature to have. It also has a very modern look to it, which I like. Double bowl sink, can kind of show you that there. It's a 60-40 sink. You kind of have like the bigger bowl here on the left, the smaller on the right, so that way kind of your wash basin, your rinse basin, excuse me, rinse basin. So that's the kind of the best setup you can have, in my opinion. I do like the big farm style sinks too, the single bowls, just because you can fit some bigger dishes in them. But if you're gonna have a 60-40, I like it to have this way, not the other way around. You will see the thermostat. This does control both that dual ducted AC I showed you, as well as the ducted heat in the floor. Speaking of, that's one thing you will see. If you take a look at the floor, you'll see that you don't have any heat ducts in the floor itself. They do all of it, there we go, through the furniture like that. The advantage to that is a couple different things. One, it helps the structural integrity, so that way you're not walking over ductwork and you kind of feel like the floor gives out a little. And also, when you're sweeping, it's much easier because you're not getting a bunch of dirt and debris and stuff down in that vent. But back to the kitchen here. So nice bright countertops, which I like. You'll see, as I mentioned, the recessed cooktop. We fold this up and back. 3-burner cooktop there. Front one's high output. You do have the decorative backsplash behind the glass as well. I think they did a good job there. It's nice and simple, yet still elegant. It does light up. This is the gray stone. Not bad. Oven underneath if you want to do some baking. See 3 drawers, pull those guys out. Nice big full extension ball bearing drawers. They're deep as well, so that way if you have some larger items, like I take an apple core a lot of times when I go camping, plenty of room for it there. And then here, it's not super deep because you'll see they have 2 more drawers over here. So they tried to give you more drawer space, which is great, but because it couldn't go quite as far back, so you kind of have to have a slimline trash can in there. I'm not quite so sure about that. I guess let me know what you guys think. Do you think you're fine with 3 drawers and rather have more storage space, or rather have more under counter space for a trash can, or do you like having the 5 drawers? Let me know in the comments section. You'll also see here microwave up top, hood right underneath with a light and a fan. And then something very unique to Mallard is the refrigerator. It's what they call the doodle station. So this is actually a chalkboard, which is awesome if you're artistic. For me, it would be like the back of like people's cars, like the bumper stickers, where it's like a stick figure family, because that's about as good as I can draw. But my wife is very artistic. She could definitely do something really cool on here. Plus, if you have kids, I mean, not that this is a bunk model, but if kids or grandkids come over, you have some chalk, they want to draw on there, it's pretty simple stuff. But nice big fridge freezer here. This one does run off both propane and electric. And even if you don't draw on it, it's still black, still works the rest of the appliances. It looks nice, right? And then you get into the entertainment center. So as I mentioned, one of the things I really like about the floor plan is the fact that this is directly across from the sofa. They show you exactly where the TV gets mounted. All your hookups are here for it. And even though this will be covered, I do like the fact that if you decide not to put a TV here, maybe you just want like a small picture or something, and, and you could hide these a little better. But at least it is kind of decorative, which is nice. Again, it'll be mostly covered up. Wish maybe they would have put that, and you'll see it up front in the bedroom. But maybe if they had like another accent wall, just, kind of like has that shiplap look. Right underneath is your Multimedia Center. So this is a DVD player. It hooks up into the TV. That's what these guys here are for. I know, should be HDMI cables, but it is not. But that is Bluetooth capable. So it controls the speakers in here as well as outside. Hook up your cell phone, good to go. Underneath that, more storage there, pretty common stuff. Not a ton of storage, but it is good for like DVDs, things of that nature. You have some of your controls here, including your slide control and your power awning. And then, as we open this up, dun, 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 you have to love this. Huge kind of like pantry or closet space. You have spots to hang your jackets up, which I love as soon as you come in. You have these. I would personally probably use these as shoe racks because I hate having my shoes in the entryway. But if you want to put food in there, you can certainly do that too. You have space down below for shoes. You can put a vacuum in there. You can put a broom in there. Whatever you need. That is an awesome space to have. And then, as I mentioned, the very back is the big bathroom. You'll see this monster slider door they have. And when you take a step in here, folks, you have just a ton of space, right? And the reason that I like this, the reason that rear baths appeal to a lot of people is because a lot of times in a camper, you don't have a great spot to change. The bedroom is a little bit tight. Here, you have all the room in the world to be able to change. You have good mirror space right up here. If you take a look, I guess it's like the vanity, right? Right up top. You have a ton of space there. Good mirrors. Look at all the storage behind that. Underneath, again, massive countertop space. My wife would certainly love that. And you'll see the electrical outlet over to the side. It's lit up really well. You have, again, 2 lights in here. A lot of manufacturers wouldn't have that. They just have, just have it be dark. And, could they have gotten away with doing this? Sure. But this looks so much better. Sometimes it's the little things, when you start doing a lot of RV reviews like I do, it's little things like this, like lighting, that really just get me excited because it's such a simple thing that a lot of manufacturers just don't do. Underneath the sink, great storage underneath there too. And then right over here to the side, again, underneath this big countertop, you have massive storage. As far as the toilet, I have great shoulder space. I have plenty of leg room. The toilet itself, this is probably the only thing that I think they kind of failed in this whole floor plan. The one thing I would change is this, and that's the fact it's composite. I personally would switch it out for porcelain. I know the Mallard is still trying to be a somewhat weight-sensitive unit, so I understand why they went this route. But if I were to buy this camper, I'd probably put in a porcelain. And by the looks of things, as you can see, you have a lot of clearance back here still, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to get it to fit in there. You also have a light in the bathroom, a window. It's let in some natural light during the day. And over to this side, a big linen closet, super deep storage there. And, you can put a bunch of clothes and stuff in here as well. That's one other thing I guess I wish they would have done. These are removable shelves, which I like. I just wish they would have put like a rod up here. And maybe they didn't, so you can still fully utilize this shelf if you want, right? And if you want the rod, you can put it in there yourself. And that way, if you want to hang clothes instead of fold them, you have that option. And then the shower, step up in here a second. Look at that. I can fully spin around, no problem. Even when the shower door is closed, nice big shower. I'm 6 foot tall. You can probably be 6'2", maybe 6'3", and be able to shower in here without having to bend down, which is great. Hand wand there. You have the Nautilus style shower door, which basically it's, like this plastic piece here. But it works, right? It keeps the water in. It's a little loud when the water's hitting it. But it does work very well, and it's mold resistant, so you can just wind it right back in there. You don't have to worry about drying it off or anything like that. So it is, very convenient. And then we come back out into the main living area, and the super slide, again, the woodwork, I love what they've done here. They kind of have the 2 different wood tones. They did the same thing there. I think it just gives it a nice overall appeal, and as I mentioned, I think they did a great job on it. The sofa is a trifold, very comfortable. You can see, this is kind of what you'll get to sleep on. And here, you know what? People always want me to make up the sofa, so I'm gonna do it real quick. If you don't want to see it, you can fast forward about 10-15 seconds. But pretty simple, just like that. You have this little guy, folds out, boom, drops down. This folds down. Well, might have to push her away from the wall a little bit. It's a little tight, but there you go, just like that. That's what you have. So, you know, as far as space, I'll lay down here. I'm 6 foot tall. There you go. As one adult, I have a ton of space. I can roll around. My wife wants to get here. We'd have to spoon all night, but you know, we could make it work. And like any other couch bed, is it going to be the most comfortable sleep in the world? No. Is it better than a pull-out? Yup. Is it better than an air mattress that deflates on you in the middle of the night? Uh-huh. So it definitely, you know, has some nice features to it. And then to sit on it is actually extremely comfortable. You can see how it kind of has like a little, I don't know, concave area there in the center. So when you do sit here, it is extremely comfortable. And as I mentioned, right across the way is where your TV is. You have a built-in armrest, which is great. For 2 people, there's really no better setup, in my opinion, to watch TV than have it straight across from you. And then you have the dinette here. So a couple quick things about the dinette. One, you will see the dinette itself. If you take a look, it has these legs which don't look as nice as your normal pedestal legs. But the thing that I really like about these tables is the fact it connects right in the back here. It connects to the wall. Now, it is strapped in, so it's not going to move regardless. But even if it's not strapped, see if I can, hold on. Hold, please. There we go. If I undo the travel strap, even now, look, I mean, the table hardly moves, right? And you can put some weight on it. Not too much, because it will pop out here. But the thing I like about that is a lot of times the pedestal tables, if you start moving them, they wobble really badly. This setup, the legs may not look as nice, but in my opinion, it is much more functional. And it still drops down into a bed if you need that additional sleeping space. Plus, if you look underneath the booth dinette, you can see there, great storage, easy to access. Big windows all the way throughout the slide here. They did that in lieu of storage. They have bigger windows, let in more natural light. The side windows, however, do not open. Not a huge deal, right? You just won't get the cross ventilation. It still lets the light in, but the side ones don't open. The back ones there will. I like the light fixture here as well. I think, you know, they did a good job kind of bringing that farmhouse style into the RV. And then as you make our way into the bedroom here, as you can see, it is a massive king size bed. Huge bed in here. Which is great for 2 people. You're not elbowing each other in the middle of the night. You still have some nightstands on the side. You have that beautiful headboard, as I mentioned, kind of like that shiplap look. Again, you get the big slider door, just like we had in the bathroom. TV hookup if you want TV in the bedroom. And for storage, you do have wardrobes on the side. You have some additional storage right up top here, and this does go back. It'll be a little bit tougher to reach, but there is storage behind this. But this is perfect for, like, you know, your underwear or socks, other things you don't want people to see. And then I like this as well because this is a little spot if you want to put like a tablet up there. If you have your cell phones and you don't want them right by the bed, you can put them up there, have them charged. They're there and out of the way. Last thing I want to touch on is storage underneath the bed. So you have 2 storage areas. You have this foot locker right up top, and you'll also see you have access to the large storage area underneath. In the M260, when it is all closed up, you will see you have full access to the fridge and the freezer. And if you turn it around right behind there, you definitely have access to the large bathroom as well. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Heartland Mallard M260. Right up front is a power tongue jack. This is a newer feature on the Mallard, but it's one that I am very, very glad that they have added, just because it is very convenient, right? Normally this, outside of having it come from the manufacturer, it'll cost you like 300, 400 bucks, but boom, here you go, it is included. Makes it a lot easier to hook up and disconnect from the tow vehicle. Simply flip the rocker switch, there's a light on there, and manual override in the rare event it fails. Behind that are 2 20-pound propane tanks with the cover. You will see rails here for your battery. Also, battery disconnect. That's also a newer feature for the 2021 models. And this, again, it's a quality of life thing, right? Instead of having to constantly open up your battery box and disconnect your battery when you're done camping for a bit, you can simply flip that battery disconnect and it'll kill all power to the RV so it's not draining down your batteries when you're not using it. You'll see solar prep over there. Simply buy portable panels, plug it in right there. It's already already pre-wired. It'll trickle charge your battery. And underneath, you will see this one has a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly. Not only does that help keep out a lot of the road grime and some of the rodents in the off season, but also in some of the colder temps. You plan on taking it out, you have that so that it's heated in there so your lines and your tanks tanks aren't freezing up on you. And you have the nice, thick 2-inch sidewalls, which also help in those colder temps. You'll see right up front the 3/4 front cap, gorgeous front cap, automotive paint on here. You have the LED lights inlaid in there as well. Diamond plating on the front, helping protect that front end from rocks and debris that get thrown up by your tow vehicle. As I mentioned, 2-inch thick laminated sidewalls, big heavy duty slam latch baggage doors here. You'll see that you have a covered hinge, so you don't have a bunch of rust coming down. And as I mentioned, slam latch, and they're heavy duty. You have the actual metal components. It's not, you know, the more inexpensive plastic ones. It works very well. You'll see here it's magnetic. Put it up just like so. When you take a look inside, look at how big that pass-through storage is, folks. This is massive. One of the biggest pass-through storages as far as total square foot in this segment. Just massive space. And you have this huge door here too, so if you need to fit in big grills, chairs, things like that, you can easily do so. Also in the pass-through, of course, there's a light as you'd expect, but you also have these guys right here, which are the controls for your power stabilizer jacks. So if you take a look right down below, you'll see your power stabilizer jacks there. Now granted, those are not leveling. You still want to use blocks to level the camper out. But once it's leveled, you can drop those jacks down and it will stabilize the RV so it's not wobbling around as you're walking around inside. Power awning with LED light strip, couple outside speakers that you're connected to that Multimedia Center inside. Again, it's Bluetooth capable. Electrical outlet out here. Fresh tank fill if you're going somewhere you don't have city water connection. You have the aluminum alloy wheels, which not just look great now, but will continue to do so because aluminum doesn't rust. And the wide track suspension, which is a spread axle system to give you a better tow while you're going down the road. Because you have that wider base, you will get less sway. You also see the main entrance has the more ride step above steps. They're very solid. You know, I'm over 200 pounds. I can run up and down these things. They don't have that springboard effect. You'll see they're aluminum treads, so that way, again, the aluminum doesn't rust. The grip tape on there. The standard grab handle, I do kind of wish they would have put a foldable one on here. It might be something, again, you know, if I got this camper, I might swap that out for a foldable one or put the additional one on there, just because it is a little bit of a reach. For someone, you know, my age, it's not a big deal. I can make it happen, but if you have bad knees, you know, or if like my grandma was gonna come visit me in the camper, I'd probably want a little bit different grab handle. A couple things here. So as I mentioned, the Yeti sidewall construction, 2 inches thick. Something that they really don't talk about much, and I wish they would talk about it more, is this right here. The Mallard uses Asdel composite, folks, and that's a big deal. It's not a cheap thing to put in there. But it has a lot of advantages. It's lighter weight than Luan. It's a green material, so it doesn't have the off-gassing. So when you're in here on a hot day, you don't smell those terrible fumes like you do in some of the other campers. And also, probably the most important thing is it doesn't absorb moisture. So that greatly, greatly reduces, they say by over 90%, reduction in the chance that your camper will delaminate. Which, if you don't know what delamination is, it's when literally the sidewall starts to come apart and you'll see all the bubbles underneath the fiberglass. Not something you want to happen, so that Asdel is a huge thing. Here in the back, you will see the square tubular bumper with end caps, gives you a convenient spot to store your sewer hose. The tire is mounted to that for easy access. City water inlets right back here. Black tank flush to wash out your black tank. Outside shower with hot and cold water access. And right up top, you will see that this one has a backup camera prep. So if you want backup camera, having the prep makes it a lot easier to install, meaning it'll save you money on labor. Last couple things are right back here. You will see right there is your cable inlet, and right underneath your detachable 30 amp power supply. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2021 Heartland Mallard M260. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Also in the comments section, let me know what you think they nailed, what they failed, and if you were designing this RV, what you would change. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.